made me go for two?
Yeah.
It was a very easy decision. Here's the fact of the game that probably your normal fan doesn't ascertain what's transpiring out there. The offense scored 2 touchdowns during the game, the regular game. We scored 2 touchdowns. So what does that tell you is happening out there? They're pretty good on defense. I mean, they're very, very good on defense, Mike, like you said. They got a lot of transfers. See, they're wired different than we are here, okay? I had a young man that, Harlan Green, who was down in Flint. He was a Detroit policeman, played here back in the 80s with Bob. And he had a player from Carmen that was just done at a junior college in California. And he's a safety. And we need safeties, and we need corners. And so it was a done deal. He wanted to come to Northern. I couldn't get him in school. He's got his associates. We don't accept D's as part of progress towards a degree. See, not only do you have to have an associate's if you're a non-qualifier from a 2-year institution, you have to meet a percentage towards graduation. And so when you don't accept D's, you don't get credit and you don't match progress towards a degree. So I can't get him in. He's at Davenport playing. And so the dynamics are very different, okay, of what I can do here and what they can do there. And that's just up to what do you want to be. And so they got dudes on defense, and we were having a hard time in there. First series, whoop, beautiful. Right down the field, 10-minute drive, we score. From then on out, it was like running into cement. Okay, so that's the first thing that's going on. At that point in the game, the defense, our defense right now is on our heels. We just gave up a multitude of big plays, right? We gave up a touchdown on a race post wheel that we had covered all week religiously, like 6 times a practice, and they hit it with us, and we didn't cover it one bit. And then they hit us on a 2-point conversion from a country mile out. We were in man coverage on one part of the formation, and they beat the kid and threw it up to him. You know, here's the truth. Whether you play zone, an aggressive zone, whether you play man, whether it's man free, whether it's quarters, whether it's squats and halves, when they take off vertical, it all turns into the same thing. It's you and me running way back there. Who can play the ball? Who can come down with it? And so they ended up with that. So we were on our heels on defense. Special teams, we had just given up a punt for a touchdown, and we had just given up a long punt return again. Correct? So we get into overtime. We give up the pass. They score. We go down and score. If this keeps going on back and forth and the pattern stays the same, where are we going to be? On the short end. If history's telling you anything, we're going to be on the short end. So right now we just scored. We've got momentum. We've got one play to win the game. It was a good call. Jake was out. Very next play, we break a kickoff return for a touchdown. And we get called for holding. I saw 100 other plays that could have been called that weren't as bad, weren't as bad as that bad. They were way worse than that holding was. I can promise you that. It looked like we were playing a little chicken fight. That's what it looked like to me. But they threw the flag, so that nullifies that. And so we didn't quit, though. You know, I get all kinds of emails. You're either not listening to the game or you don't understand the game, okay? Take your pick. When the game is tied up and your opponent has first and goal at the 3 and they come away with 0 points to force overtime, that's fighting. And that's good coaching, okay? To manage the clock, to put in a max block at a timeout and do those things and shut them down. First and goal at the 3 and we don't give up a point and we go to overtime, that's fighting. That's effort, that's toughness, that's good coaching.
Your special teams blocking 2 kicks. Yeah, it's pretty big. You guys,
we're doing some nice things. And it's just related to effort. You know, we're not defending the pass as well as we need to be defending it. Let me take you back. I've only been here a year and a half. Okay. When we took over at Northern, there was one quarterback on scholarship, Cole Staley. And he was hurt all last year. He had a bicep tendon shoulder issue that needed to get repaired, and it was a very nagging and lengthy recovery for him. There was no kickers in the program. Now those are pretty important positions, wouldn't you say? And when you're at a scholarship NCAA football program, that shouldn't be what you're looking at. One quarterback and no kickers. Well, what do you think the secondary was like, guys? Let's just leave it at that.
One of the silver linings to come out of this season so far is that running back Jake Mayan is inching very close to tying and even surpassing the all-time rushing record here at Northern. What have you seen out of the senior now in this year and a half that you've been, that you've liked and can comment on his?
Well, he's wired right. He's a good leader for us. When it gets a little rough because things don't always go our way, you know, he stays pretty grounded, and he works hard to keep everybody around him pretty well grounded. We try to cover everything, which limits your time, but you want to show them. As a coach, I don't want them to see something out on the field that we've never taken them through, if at all possible. Whether it's a formation, whether it's a play, whether it's a motion, such and such. I want to have been there before. But you can't always do that because people game plan on that side. They get paid too. Every school in this conference, they have coaches that get paid too. They're credible. They're very good. So you get ready for everything that you see, and then you have to get ready for things that may show back up. And do you know? No. But you just try to cover your bases. So you can, when you put your head down at night, you can actually sleep instead of worry about everything. They're a power read team. They're a quarterback gut team now. They're a quarterback draw team. If they've got number 3 in there, Christian Martinez, who's been playing quarterback, who played against Grand Valley. I don't know whether we'll get Martinez, whether we'll get Grant Dunachik, or whether we'll get Spencer McCourt. Those guys are all in and out of there. So we'll find out. And a lot of people say, what? Why does Coach Nystrom go up in the box? Well, and Mike, you may know this. Anybody ever heard of Doc Mudra? Daryl Mudra? Eastern Illinois, North Dakota State, Florida State. Mm-hmm. He coached from the box, and he won several national championships. Mm-hmm. So if it works for him, who's to say that it doesn't work? And, you know, when I'm up there, it's because things got to get changed. Because what you prepare for, sometimes, and a lot of times, different things show up on the field that you have to adjust. And that's where I have to be. That's where I come into play. And, you know, our effort Saturday was good. We didn't make plays for about 7 minutes. And so I told our players, every time you're out there, you have to win a play. And the score is irrelevant. The score is irrelevant, and the time is irrelevant as far as their mindset out there playing and being successful at doing their job. It's irrelevant. Now, it's the coach's job to control clock and make those decisions, but the players don't have to worry about it. They have to play like their tail's on fire and win every play. And we let it get away. I'm very irritated about that, as is everybody else. So don't go by one of the players and ask them about that right now. They're a little bit surly, and that's where I want them.